Mystic River runs about 3.5 miles from the land under Lantern Hill down to Fisher's Island Sound. Its many coves, islands, and quaint New England villages filled with history make it a great place to explore. You'll need a shallow draft boat to do this. A kayak or canoe is perfect. A small catboat is pretty good too, and I was excited to be invited for a shakedown cruise with a friend of mine who owns one. One of the places I wanted to visit was Sixpenny Island. It certainly had an interesting name, but in fact no one I spoke with, including the Mystic Historical Society, knew how the island got its name. Some thought the island might have been purchased centuries ago for 6 pennies, possibly from the Indians. I looked at a map and it showed that most of the 35-acre island was a wildlife preserve and part is owned by Amtrak. Their railroad tracks cut across the backside of the island. My friend's catboat, Jazzpurr, is docked at the West Mystic Wooden Boatyard on the river in West Mystic. The yard is sort of part museum and part boatyard. The place is filled with old maritime relics and wooden vessels, all with a history that sit waiting to be rescued. The people at the yard are, if anything, more interesting than the vessels, and like them, all have interesting stories. It's an old-timey boatyard with lots of history, and almost feels like at any moment Captain Ahab from Moby Dick could come striding down the dock. It was a perfect day for a sail on the Mystic River. The wind was gusting about 15 knots, just strong enough so we wouldn't have to reef.
As you can see, we're going to have some breeze out there. I've trimmed our gaff main here just so that you'll see the wrinkles in the forward section there up toward the throat. And that's so that when it fills out, it'll have a nice airflow shape.
The catboat is a handy cat, a fiberglass gaff-rigged 14-footer designed by Merle Howlett of Maine's Handy Boat Service in 1969 and first produced in the 1970s by Cape Dory Yachts. The catboat is traditionally fitted with a gaff-rigged sail on a single mast set well up in the eyes of the boat. From the 1850s to the early 1900s, catboats were the dominant inshore boat on the New England coast. Thousands and thousands of them were built. They were used for fishing and coastal transportation. Catboats were particularly convenient in New England because of their seaworthy hull shape, shallow draft, and retractable centerboard. Legend has it that the name catboat comes from the fishermen. When they came back to the dock with their catch, they'd have to shoo all the cats from the boat. Today's catboats range in size from 12 to 30 feet, and while not used for fishing anymore, they remain hugely popular for recreational use. The boat we're sailing on today is the Jazzpurr, a play on words because it's also the name of the captain's cat, who unfortunately just passed away, so this video is dedicated to Jazzpurr, the cat. So we're doing 4 or 5 knots.
At least 3. I didn't bring my GPS with me.
It's a beautiful sailing boat.
It's terrific stuff.
Yeah, oh my God, this is so nice.
It's as small as I want to get, and it's really no bigger than I really want to get either most of the time, unless I want to do a longer passage, which most of the time I'm out here in Fisher's Island Sound, and this is all I need and want.
And you know, 14 feet keeps it, you know, affordable.
Absolutely, and I can trailer it myself. I can stick it in the yard.
As we got out on the channel, the boat heeled over in the gusts. A strong sun beat down, but the air was cool. A perfect sailing day. I asked the captain if we could sail to Sixpenny Island. I was looking on the chart. Sixpenny Island is a nature preserve.
Yes.
So we could probably. Oh, in fact, we could sail by that, right?
We can. We'll tack down there, and
yeah, that'd be perfect.
once we get down there, we'll fiddle around a bit down that end, and then hopefully the wind's still blowing, which I really suspect it will be.
We skirted an old float covered with thousands of broken shells dropped by seagulls to get at the meat. A seagull buffet, I thought. The wind was strong as we beat up into the lee of the island. Well, I see a little sandbar, it looks like, in there, doesn't it? in 1938, a man lived in a shack on the island, and he and the shack were washed away by the hurricane of '38. On this side?
So you use the sail to maneuver the boat as much as they'll ever. And we go in slow, which means letting the wind go past the sail as much as possible. Basically, trying to bear pull it kind of through. So we slow our boat downwind.
Somebody put a little marker there.
Yeah. Now we've got enough hull in the water that we can still steer going downwind well enough to save ourselves a fair bit of grief.
I can see the shells. It looks like it gets deeper after this sandbar here.
This is about all the tide we're going to get, so we're skimming an inch above the bottom probably. Not much more.
The whole marsh was only about 2 or 3 feet out of the water. Geese, cormorants, terns, and gulls screamed at our trespassing. Wow.
This is catboating at its best. Made for marshes.
Wow, this is great.
This is how you have fun. We're not taking any particular chances. We're going to hit worse, we hit bottom, we slow down quick. And if we had sandwiches, we'd have sandwiches.
He was right. The outside world had receded, and we were the only ones here enjoying the warm sun in this primordial marsh that probably hadn't changed much since the glaciers receded 10,000 years ago. Look at the osprey. It was carrying a mouse or a fish or something. We sailed along one of the cuts created by the CCC over 80 years ago. I could imagine the hundreds of young men with shovels creating it. And what of the man lost in the hurricane? I wondered who he was. And what of the mysterious name, Sixpenny Island? Would I ever learn its meaning? Back out on the river, Sixpenny Island receded into the distance, and I knew that I'd be back again to explore more of this mysterious island.